What is up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Ah yes, the new series, the center point of nostalgia for late tweens and early teens alike. Now, call me trash, but I've been spending a good amount of time on Thomas' Twitter, and the amount of people who bash the new series is kinda surprising, I guess. Never knew that so many people hated the era as much as they do. Might as well throw out my unwanted opinion on the internet. So, with that out of the way, let's get started with what's probably gonna be the longest episode yet of Let's Talk Thomas. So, baseline. The new series is the term to describe the part of the Thomas and Friends TV series produced under the management of Hit Entertainment, introducing newer characters, longer episodes, a new score, some brand new trash narration, moral-heavy stories, a new title sequence, and learning segments. Now, before I get too deep into this, let me just say that us dirty Americans got cheek sniped with Season 7. In the US, it was basically Season 8 with better writing, different lighting, and, well, I guess that's it. But god damn it, Alec Baldwin can stand for one more season. Anyways, I'm going to be reviewing these in the order of their release, so without too much rambling, I'll go ahead and start talking. So, Season 8. For most, it was the first true new series season, premiering August 8th, 2004. It was Thomas's second biggest experiment, first being Tamara. And, well, since then, I think the writers have gotten just a bit better at adapting to change. First off, the music is stellar. Robert Hartshorn took the reins of the series and handled them with great care. And while I feel like some of them are a bit dull or generic, I feel like they fit their character well enough. This season also introduces storytelling utilizing more exaggerated action and less still speaking shots, as seen in the classic series. The actual character in the engines wasn't too bad either. I mean, Thomas has kinda gone back to a stingy little prick and Percy is low-key, high-key afraid of everything, but it's not Miller-era generic or too straightforward. The character of the engines can still be stretched out to other outlets. The stories are okay as well. I mean, they got nothing on the heavy shit of the classic series, and they lean more toward generic kid show, but it's not full Chuckington, with bangers like Gordon Takes Charge, Edward the Great, and Don't Tell Thomas, and its good share of busts, like Henry and the Wishing Tree, Thomas and the Circus, and that Magic Carpet episode. Yo, what's that, Murdoch? Do what's wrong! So, Season 8, it's not exactly great, but I'd say it's a step in the right direction for seasons to come. If Season 8 was a step forward, then I can say with 100% certainty that Season 9 was another. It was the first new series season to incorporate the use of the narrow gauge engines, with them having 6 episodes throughout the season. And let me say, it's a bit rough. Out of the 6, I can only say I really like 2. The Magic Lamp and Duncan and the Old Mine. Both are good episodes in their own way, with the Magic Lamp taking in the ability to spice up an episode with visuals, and Duncan and the Old Mine able to embrace Duncan's careless, oblivious, and curious character. The other NG episodes from the season are just bland. I mean, yeah, they're not good, but I'd at least be able to call them average if they weren't so baseline 2000s kid show, if you know what I mean. However, as a whole, the NG experiment wasn't that terrible of an idea, and it gave the writers something to work with for seasons to come, taking a step away from the narrow gauge episodes and towards the majority of the season. It's pretty solid, a definite step up from Season 8, with the majority of the episodes becoming more simple, like Season 6 simple. And I say a majority because episodes like Thomas and the Rainbow still exist. Other elements of the show are kept consistent, such as the wonderful score, the above-average writing, and the good visuals. I'd say the lows of Season 9 are lower than the lows of Season 8, but Season 9 has more good episodes opposed to Season 8. And along with the stories, the storytelling has also improved. Not a huge step up from Season 8, but a step up nonetheless. So, am I the only person who didn't know that Calling All Engines came after Season 9? I mean, it didn't really, but technically, according to my local man and best friend extraordinaire, Google, apparently Calling All Engines aired 2 days after Percy and the Oil Painting and Thomas and the Rainbow. I don't even know if that's true, because Google's the reason I got kicked out of elementary school. But I'm not here to review order. I'm here to talk about comically colorful trains with faces. So calling all engines. It's dull. It's boring. And I don't like it. From the learning segments to the absolute disappointment that was Diesel 10. Yo, it's George! Do the George! Ew. Bro, is that lady? Bro, where we even now? Yo, dude, that's Rusty! That's Rusty! It's Rusty, dog! Wait, why does he look like that? That don't matter, it's Rusty! Taking a quote from my guy, Doorknob123, calling all engines doesn't feel like a Thomas special, but a really, really long episode. The pacing is terrible, the writing is below average, and the absolute baiting of Diesel 10 being in the film was just disappointing. I mean, I know this special was all hyped up and all, like all Thomas specials are, but I mean, come on, he was on the cover. Edward isn't on the cover, Henry isn't on the cover, but Diesel 10, the guy who was hyped up to be a whole bucket of badness, ends up being slightly mad for 12 seconds and then helps the soy boys. Is there another way to say disappointment? Honestly, I feel kind of sorry for anyone who was clickbaited into buying the DVD. That's not my hand. That's not the script. But yeah, overall, calling all engines isn't good. But to be honest, it's more disappointing than anything. Okay, here in my opinion is the lowest point of the new series. This is where the characters lost that little bit of stretch that made them so variant. Characters like Thomas and the narrow gauge engines were getting all the spotlight, while the little spotlight that was given to the rest of the characters appeared to be all for naught. The writing became dry, the narration somehow got worse, and a good bit of the incidental music turned from light, graceful, delicate ambience to wacky kids-off-the-wall dumpster fire. The characters in this season became more simple, one-dimensional, you could say, lacking meaning and depth. The stories are generic as hell, and while the visuals are pretty good, they don't make up for the disappointment of the season. Yeah, like every season, it's got its bangers, like James' Second Best, Thomas and the Birthday Mail, and Duncan's Bluff, but it overall doesn't appeal to me and, like, anyone else. Seriously, when's the last time you heard anyone talk about Season 10? It's just disappointing, unsatisfying, and we're moving on. This season is pretty one-sided, with the narrow gauge focused episodes being pretty above average, and the standard gauge episodes being, well, not. I mean, as always, there are some bangers in the standard gauge episodes, like Hector the Horde, I guess. I mean, Dream On is okay, but the narrow gauge episodes, Cool Trucking's fire. Sir Handel in Charge, fire. Ding-a-ling sucks. But Duncan Does It All, I don't even remember that episode. Skarloey Storms Through, pretty good. But I mean, you know, I'd probably like it more if 90% of the narrow gauge engines didn't sound like Rowley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But yeah, I don't have much else to say on Season 11, other than it's Season 10, just slightly more bearable. I like this. Yeah, The Great Discovery lives up to his name. I mean, it's not a perfect special, but it's got a lot of highlights. It's actually written well, the characters aren't one-dimensional and drier than my contacts, it's not narrated by Michael Brandon. It is a very refreshing change from the dull, stale elements we got out of Season 10 and 11. Oh, and how could I forget the most important part of the entire thing?
In the distance, they could hear the other engines cheer. Welcome!
That's right, people, Molly still exists. Honestly, for what it is and what it was made to be, this movie is pretty good and still holds up decently well. I mean, yeah, there's more they could have done with it, but you know, overall, it's still a pretty good special, and, well, I enjoy it, so, yeah. Season 12. Well, damn. May be the first to say this, but I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Season 12. And no, I'm not 9. It's not because the faces are weird. It was the team's first experiment animating CGI. Obviously. And it's not as quote-unquote impressive as people make it out to be. I will admit, the writing's gotta be some of the best in the new series.
He was excited. The brass band is arriving at Brendam Docks. Hooray!
Okay, maybe not. But there are a few drawbacks. First off, the narration. The worst of the new series. Just period. Apparently the Fat Controller swallowed a cheese grater and every other character is just afraid to talk.
Oh, that was nothing. See how easily I can shunt Heavy Hector. You're lucky, James Huft. I have to do the black lock run.
Damn it, Brandon, what did you do? I don't know if you mixed up the voices, but James is not Emily! So Brandon turns on the energy for Fatty in the narration, but it's too much work to put in effort to, like, the main character. Like, just hear the difference. Also, the inconsistent CGI. Like, I know it was a first time for everyone, but they couldn't keep things consistently animated. And I know some things that are like in the background aren't as necessary and just can be left as so. But something as easy as an engine pulling into frame should have some decent animation. Other than that, Season 12 is okay, I guess. It isn't better than Season 9. I'd maybe tie it with Season 8. Maybe. But it wouldn't go to the level of Seasons 10 or 11. Guess we learned that the new series isn't actually, like, horrible. I mean, it's not, like, good, but, like, it's a solid stepping stone for Thomas and Friends culture as a whole. And, I mean, no matter what you can say about it, it's definitely better than what came after it. Woo! Boy, wasn't that a thing. Yeah. This is longest Let's Talk Thomas. Also, definitely took the longest to make. Since it's that time of year, happy holidays, I guess. Might make a Christmas special if I'm feeling frisky. Probably not, though. Also, thank you for 200 subscribers. That is a definite number of people. But, yeah, I don't have much else to say. So, as always, I'll see you when I decide to upload again.